Hey guys, how's it going? Just back with another video. Hi. Gonna be making some pewter crosses today, and then do a copper Lego. So got the crosses kind of pounded down in my sand here. Basically, this is what I'm using as a mold for my pattern, basically. So I'll just put it in there, pound it down into the sand, pull it out straight as possible, and leave the imprint. That's how it's working. And I already got my furnace heated up, so it should be good to go for the first pour. Pewter melts a lot easier. And let that sit for just a little bit longer. Doesn't quite look fluid. So totally fluid. There's still some pieces in there, but let's see. Where's my gloves? Put my safety equipment on just because safety first. See, pewter melts at, I think it was 260 something degrees Celsius or 290 something degrees Celsius. I'm not sure. So I just have my scale set at 300 degrees Celsius. And it's currently at 311 degrees Celsius. So I don't know exactly what the conversion rate is to Fahrenheit by right offhand, but it's hot to know. Let's see. That's good. Let's try pouring. A little too much. That's why I got 4 squares here, so I can kind of judge. Or four crosses, so I can kind of judge where I need to be. And pour it right. So these are what I'm using for just pewter rounds. Bought them off eBay. Drop it in there. This stuff doesn't look as cool as silver and copper when it's cooling down and molten like that, but it melts faster and a little easier to work with. You can control the pour a little bit better. So yeah, that's kind of a neat look when it's done. It's not quite as shiny as silver, but it's still pretty neat. Eventually I'll make like a pewter and silver. Well, I would like to make a gold and silver chess set to go with the chessboard that I made, but gold's expensive. It's all silver, but so eventually maybe I'll make a pewter chess set for to go with that board that I got, but that'll be down the road a ways. So for now, I'm just sticking with my crosses and stuff like that. So. This goes much quicker. Trim that a little bit. And you can control the pour and pour it a little slower. Maybe even pour multiple in there. Oop. Didn't control the pour on that one. But in the crucible, it stays stays liquid much much longer than like silver and stuff, because this cools down pretty quick, and once silver hardens pretty quick when it cools. So got about a set of brushes that has regular vinyl and then copper or brass and then steel brushes. So depending on what I'm working on, you can basically brush off all the sand here. I gotta control my pour a little bit better, I think, on these, but I'm gonna have some to trim, but let's see what we got here. That's what I came up with my first one here. So they got a little bit, looks like my sand kind of caved in a little bit in there. If I can get it to focus. You can see, so it's got the little ridge right on it there. So that'll probably get melted back down and make another attempt at it. Sand is kind of warm, but it's not hot like it is after you use copper or silver. It's you know, that's much higher, and the sand absorbs a lot more of that temperature. So put it in. A little wet. All right. See if we can get a better pour in one of these two here. Still too much. All right. So as you can see, I tend to make a few attempts to get one right. Still learning all this. And, but having fun doing it. Looks like I had the same issue with the sand kind of going. I kind of redid some of the crosses. I probably should have pounded them in a little bit better. So hopefully this one will turn out a little better. Let's see. Well, this one looks good, but it's got a little dent on here, so I'll clean that up a little more and remelt that one. Let's see what this one looks like. Well, the surface looks really good on that one. I got some overpour that I got to clean up. That's what I got to learn the control, is that overpour. So I don't pour too much in there, only pour what I need. Make the pieces look a lot better. But this one I'll keep, and then use my Dremel tool, which is right there. Right now I got to set it up as a router because I was making my bar, Trinity Silver bar piece there. I was making that with the router. So, but I can turn this. What I do is I turn it like this, lock that in place, and then use the cutting wheel in there, and then just by hand go in and just trim the excess off, and then make it nice and neat. And then I can turn it back down, use it as a drill press, and drill a hole through it for putting like a necklace, making a necklace out of it. But that one, the surface looks really cool. You can pick out the wood grain and stuff. There's no air pockets or anything like that. So that one I'll keep. And then set it up. So two more I gotta melt or clean up with a melt. This one again I'll over pour. And that's this one, let's see, it's got the little ridge of sand because I kind of redid the mold. Didn't turn out that well, so I'll redo the molds, kind of clean the sand out of these, and I'll melt it back down. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, got some stuff melted out. I haven't melted these back down. I made another mold here to make an attempt at a good pour with what I got in here already. So try to get this poured. Still too much. That one I did have cleaned up, but this one, let's see. Okay, so took a second to clean that up, and my stepson got home, so shut off the recording. But this is what it came out. The last one, the surface looks really good. A little bit of overpour to clean up. A little bit of a ridge right here. That's probably where, when I pulled the wooden cross out, it kind of separated a little bit and I pressed it back down. Didn't get it all the way together, so it created a little ridge. You know, very easy to clean up with the Dremel tool. So that one's another keeper. So got two more I got to melt down. I think I can get one, maybe two more crosses out of the mold here. So we'll see. Okay. Cross. So we'll go this way. Just trying to fill in the sand around the cross. And then hopefully I can lift that up straight. Let's see how I do. Alright, sorry to pause again. Got called away from what I'm doing for grandfather duties. Grandson just brought me my little box of bottle cap candies, and he goes, "Here you go." And then he asked for one, so of course I had to give him one. Grandpa's got to spoil their buddies. Alright, let's see. Doesn't want to come out. He wants to. Kept wanting to pull the sand up with it. Sand didn't want to stay down there, so I'm gonna redo it. That's kind of what happened to me the first couple times there. So but I didn't do that between them. Just bag it back down again. So hopefully that works. Still very new with this, learning as I go. Only been a couple weeks, 3 weeks now of actually doing it, having the equipment and stuff. So here we go. I think that'll look good. All right, get my gloves back on. Pour some pewter. Let's see. trying to pour that one slow, and it started out really good, and then it just kind of went. Oh well. Let that one cool a bit. Work on cleaning this one up. Clean that one up so you can kind of see the surface a little bit better on that one. Why I can't use that one. A couple more to melt back down. Where did I put my... Keep setting tools down in different spots. And basically what I'm doing over here is just dunking it in water to cool it down, quenching it. Doesn't sound as cool with pewter as it does with copper and silver because they're a lot hotter and it boils the water right away. This doesn't even make a noise. Kind of disappointing. One of the cool things about pewter, though, is it doesn't burn my sand like copper and silver do. So, if I just use pewter, I'd be able to use the same sand and it would last me forever. But just doing one metal is kind of boring. So there's cross, and my wood cross kind of took a little chunk out of it. I forgot about that when I made it or redid this one. I was using the other side of the mold. It didn't have a little chip out of it, but I forgot when I did this one, so now it's got a little chip out of it. But you know, none of us are perfect, and the only perfect man got crucified on a cross like this. Okay, I realized I missed the last two pours there. Apparently my camera wasn't on when I hit record. Oops. So, but this is one of them that came out. That one turned out pretty good. Again, with a little nick up at the top from the wooden cross there. But other than that, it looks perfect. Just got to trim it up a little bit. Not quite as much overpour on that. And then this one I did with a copper cross that I made to try and, so I don't have that broken piece in there. Let's see how this one turned out. So it looks alright, but it's got a little ripple. If you look at it, it's actually kind of bent. A little tough to see in the camera, but it's got a little bend to it because when I pounded it in, it pounded in more like this, and then I tried to level it out. So it's a little bend down here. Pounded in, kind of went in. I don't know, level for me. So I powdered it, it kind of went into the top, so the level sand was here. It was in like this, and then I pounded the bottom down to try to level it out. And when I pulled it out, it kind of caved in a little bit, and then redid it, so I got a little bit of that sand in there. So that'll get remelted along with this one. So these two will get remelted at some point. Not right now. This was just the excess I had in there. Basically, I'm heating up the still kind of warm. Heating up the crucible for copper now, and once that's ready, I'll be pouring the other Lego. Some more remelt. Let's see, what's going to fit in the other containers here. Oh yeah, perfect. So I use these little Tupperware containers my mom gave me for storing stuff. I pre-measure them, so all I got to do is just dump it in when I'm ready. But just a little bit extra copper. Oops. Along with the remelt Lego that I had in there. So it's probably a little too more than what I need, but so I got this little box here. I got my copper and silver in here. Got one of the Legos, copper Legos already done, and my little trinkets that I use for my molds. So that's what I got for now. Kind of tidied up my mold there for the Lego. So I'll be back in a little bit once the furnace is warmed up. I'm gonna go in and hang out with my grandson a little bit before his mom picks him up. Okay, I'm back with the
Hi.
Oh, that's Jonathan. Jonathan's out here with me.
Yeah, I just came out to tell him that his grandson locked him out.
Yeah, I got locked out in the garage, which is worse places to get locked out in.
And I'm sick.
Yeah, you're not feeling good.
Sick.
So, got one more pour here with copper, and then get that.
I don't know if it's just a runny nose or sick.
Got one more pour with here with copper, and then we'll be done with that.
Hey, Dad. If you ever watched Big Hero 6,
yeah,
what you should do is that you should put like a line of caution tape on the floor. Just like that one scientist dude. He has like energy blades for his weapon to fight the bad guy with the microbots. So there's like this big caution tape like around his thing. That's what you should do with this.
I should do that, yes. That would be a good idea. Alright.
See, I'm a genius.
You are a genius, buddy. Very smart.
So I added up, what?
You added up what?
I added up numbers until I got to 150 without writing on paper.
Cool. Good job.
And it was only 1 plus 1 equals 2 plus 1 equals 3. Like, it wasn't
So you
that
counted?
bad. It was like 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10. Like, it was like that.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Although I hate math, but I'm so good at it.
So I had a little too much copper in there, which I kind of figured when I put it in there. I said that's probably a little too much copper. So I was right. But we'll see how it looks when it cools down. I pull
Dip
it.
it in here.
Yeah, I'll dip it in there.
Yes.
Gonna be satisfying in a bit.
Don't know if you can see me.
No, not.
Hello.
There's Jonathan and my messy garage. Ignore that.
Yeah, ignore this.
So there's the copper cooling down, still red hot.
It's so cool.
So, and you can see how with the pewter it didn't even burn the sand at all, but with the copper it burnt it out quite a ways. So all that black stuff I got to scoop out and not use again, but I can reuse all the stuff that's not burnt. So
Also, you guys can be expecting some, like, video game videos.
video game videos. Yeah, Jonathan wants to do some video game videos.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully get some time to do that. But yeah, I think it should be good enough to dip here. So just step it.
What did you step
Oh, I
on?
don't know. I got poked by something.
He got
Stepped on something.
poked by something.
Stepped on something.
He got
Messy garage,
poked
not
by
have shoes on.
something.
So. So what I'm doing is pulling out, trying to get that sand off. Alright, and it's still very hard, or very hot, not hard. It's hard.
It's so very hard
But-
it can burn you.
See, that's, when it's warm, it looks almost like pewter. It's kind of that color, a silverish color.
Hey guys, it's
But-
so hard it can burn you.
Take it down here.
It's so satisfying. That smell isn't though.
Oh, if you can only smell through the video. Give it a shake, trying to bust
What did you
free.
make?
There we go.
Oh, what were you trying to make?
Another copper Lego brick. So
Another one?
now the copper color, get away from the bucket. Now the copper, now it's cooled down, you can see the copper color.
Exactly like a Lego brick.
But I'll be able to use that. I wonder if that's some of the pewter that melted. No, you can see the pewter on the top of the. That's a little piece of pewter in there, melted in there. But I think it might have mixed with the copper a little bit. So I might have to sand that down some and see if I can get rid of that. Or just have a two-tone copper brick. Looks kind of cool. I'll have to trim that up some. And
I'm gonna go back inside.
so, all right. Say bye, Jonathan.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you. Probably see you in next video.
I hope so.
It might be a gaming one.
So just kind of use my brush, kind of clean that up a little bit. Looks like some of that silver color is coming out just with the brush. I should be able to polish that up. But I just kind of broke that piece off. Bent it quick and broke it. So now that's my brick. Turned out okay. Not the greatest. So, not the greatest. Probably end up redoing that one too. How much have you? How much you eat? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that pewter kind of melted in there. I got the little chunk off that was on top there, but the coloring kind of melted in with this. So, and some of the posts didn't really turn out. The one you can kind of see Lego on there, but the other two kind of melted in. So I'm gonna end up redoing this brick. I'll maybe trim off that part that has the copper in, or the pewter in it, and then trim out the part that has the pewter in it, and then melt this back down. So let's see. Should be able to do one more pour with that.
Did you hear Lincoln scream?
Yeah.
He's like,
Grandson in there screaming.
huh? Yeah, it's best not to go in there.
It's just melt it down. Leave that copper.
So I'm gonna hang out in here.
Leave that pewter in there for now, and see how it looks. Just out of curiosity. If I don't like it, I can always melt it down. It's just not going to be pure copper anymore because it's got the pewter in there. But maybe it'll look kind of cool.
The video ended.
Oh, it didn't. Jonathan's trying to prank me, saying the video ended.
Leave a like if one of your favorite dinosaurs is Carnotaurus, or Velociraptor, Spinosaurus, Ceratosaurus, or Stegosaurus.
They might have to repeat that after I'm done hammering because they probably couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, just like that, got a new mold. All right,
Okay.
what now, Jonathan?
Leave a like down below if one of your top favorite dinosaurs are Carnotaurus, Ceratosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Stegosaurus, Baryonyx, Spinosaurus.
Just leave a like if you like dinosaurs.
I like all dinosaurs except for like a couple. And those ones are just like little eggy dudes. They're just like
Yeah. Alright, well, while we're waiting for the furnace to come up, I'm going to go in and check on my pizza and probably eat the pizza, and I'll be back up. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're back. I had my pizza and the ovens, or the furnace is nice and hot. I'm going to get my safety gear on, and we'll pour another copper Lego. Hopefully this time it works out good. Got a good clean hole for it. Let's see here. Might move the camera here. 1 second. Okay, that might give you a little better angle here to see the actual pour part of it. Let's adjust this just a little bit more. It's tightening up. Okay, I'll be in there a second. I'm going to do a pour. Yep. So, you need to come watch? Say hi to the video? Okay. Here's Noah. Say hi. Alright.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to do a copper Lego. Try to get this angle so they can see it being poured.
A copper Lego?
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright. caught my wood frame on fire. Move that off the wood there so it doesn't burn my frame too much. Got a little splash there, so the actual Lego part I think is going to be perfect. Looks like it's in a good spot. Try to move the camera here. Got my camera or phone on a tripod here, so it's not the easiest to move around. There you can see the red, glowing red of the copper. A little piece here that bubbled up and landed over here that looked like it had like a little bubble in the center of it, and then that bubble collapsed and caved in, so it's got kind of a cool little look to it, but that one's cooled down enough. That one looks almost black from all the stuff on it. The underside looks copper, but and that's that piece. That'll just get remelted. But it's very, very rough. Because of the wood, there was moisture in the wood that kind of bubbled up through the copper, I think. I think that's kind of what's going on. That's why it's really rough right now. And why there was a bubble. But the actual Lego looks really cool from this part. So we'll see if we take it out. It looks like almost perfect. It's not over poured. It's, you know, just about right, it looks like. So and that looks like a couple of the little posts didn't quite turn out. Two of them did. But we'll quench that. Get that good and cool. Oh. Hit the bikes. Right there. Alright. Look at that standing there. Yeah. I'll shut off the furnace because we won't be using that anymore. Well, this is not easy to do on the camera. Looking through the camera to try to clean this off. Oh yeah, this will work. This will work good. Rinse. Alright, so now if we can get the focus, you can see two of the posts actually you can read the Lego on it. The other two a little rounded, kind of caved in a little bit, and a couple little air bubble holes there. Not too bad though. You can clean up the bottom a little bit and with the Dremel, and then polish it up. And then it should look good. Then I'll have my two copper bricks. So this one is one of the finished products. It's 0.68 ounce copper. If I can get that to focus. There we go. It's better. Get it centered and focused there. I suppose it helps to have it centered. Got my little cross stamp in there, and this one, you know, two of them you can see, the other one you can't quite see. But that's the two. I'll put the stamp on this one. Get them that way, so they're both the same way. Put the stamp on this one in the same spot. once I trim the bottom a little bit or smooth out the bottom, then I'll stamp it with the weight there. And then it'll be good. But this is what it'll look like. I'll probably polish this one up a little bit more. It was more shiny, a little bit more shiny when I first took it out of the thing, but for me handling it, the oils and stuff, my fingers have already coppered or toned it a little bit. Just like a penny. You know, the old pennies when they're handled, they turn kind of a toned color. So it's not super shiny, but it could be with some polish. So, but that'll be it for now. I'm gonna go spend some more family time and let the stuff cool down, and then I'll clean up tomorrow when it's all nice and cool. Because this sand is still quite hot to the touch. Just going like this, I can feel it. It's almost too much to hold it like that. So, and when I come out tomorrow, it'll actually be swelled up a little bit above the rim of the wood, because as it heats, it expands, and then it'll, as that heat kind of absorbs through the whole thing and then cools back down, it'll be up a little bit above there. So have a good one. Like the video and leave a comment if you want, if you have any questions. So talk to you later. You want to say goodbye to Noah? Bye, Noah.
Bye. Bye, guys.